We here? Yeah. Let's get straight to it. I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoon, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna give when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Canoon. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah. Excuse me. Now, welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of My Thoughts, and as the title states, Stealing Pastors on My Thoughts 305. Okay. The pastor, he knows better than to try to extract money from his congregants, but he do it anyhow. And he can give you silly scriptures and stupid scriptures that he believe is usable to extract funds from you. Okay. I always say that they throw a pity party for pitiful people. That's the 4 P's. So they can funnel funds from fools. That's the 4 F's. And again, I said I'm not disrespecting anybody personally per se. These are just the 4 P's and the 4 F's. To funnel funds from fools, the 4 F's, they tell a sob story. That's called a pitiful, that's called a pity party for pitiful people. See, the reason you don't have this and you're lacking in your life and you this, that, and the third, because you haven't tried God. Try God with your finances and see, don't he break that generational curse. Your daughter can't read, give God all your money and God is sure how to read. Your business ain't prospering and thriving and flourishing, give God your money. See, don't you have 10 businesses? They always take you and say you haven't been through the proven grounds. You see, giving you the impression that they have already been through the proven grounds. They're pastors, they're leaders, they're your spiritual advisors, which makes a person think or believe, if you have any brains, these people should already have what it takes. They already been through the test that they're trying to provoke you to go into. Yet and still, you fall for the same trick every week. So that's what we're going to be dealing with today. Let's look at the ancestors and we'll get straight to it. I didn't record yesterday. Both my sons is in basketball season, and they getting their basketball on. You see, so um, that's me giving an account for myself. I know I have an audience that might want to see me. I know I have an audience that don't care to see me. In either case, I gave an account for myself because I don't work for anybody other than myself. But I do feel in some type of way I work for the people that watch my content. So that's my account. Okay. Let's look at the ancestors and we'll get straight to it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. Let's go.
One thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.
That's the great ancestors. Dr. John Henry Clark, that's a speech. You have no friends that he gave. You hear me? And you can watch that. But he's accompanied by so many historic figures for the Pan-African work that they did. Okay. You have the Socrates of that whole explosion. This was the Harlem Renaissance era. You hear me? You had Hubert H. Harrison, who they said was the Socrates. See, our ancestors didn't know at that point in time that Socrates didn't exist, but they still used him as someone to equate great knowledge and things like that too. So I understand the use to equate one to another. I do understand that. Okay. You had Ivan Van Sertima. You had Dr. Bean, Dr. Clark. You had Sheikh Anta Diop. You had John G. Jackson. You hear me? You had Khalid Muhammad. You had Malcolm X. And you had the great Walter Williams. That's who was depicted in that intro. So I take my hats off to them. May their souls rest. May their spirit continue to be lifted. Monday, I spoke about 1 Corinthians 9:18. What then is my pay? This is for religious people, your reverend, your bishop, your pastor, your deacon, all these type of things, your minister. You hear me? If they want to be paid, they pay is the privilege to be able to preach the good word, which is the gospel. That's it. They shouldn't be able to charge anyone. And then they give you these silly scriptures, Malachi 3:8. You robbed God. What have I robbed? How can I rob God? You didn't give your tips and offerings. You didn't give your tips and offerings, you see. And this was dealing with the Israelites. So all this was dealing with. This was addressed to the Israelites and the thieving priest and things like that who was misappropriating the money, stealing the money and not bringing it to the temple. That's all this was about. So if you wasn't an Israelite, this isn't referring to you, but they will use these type of silly scriptures to make you feel pitiful. Then it goes on, Malachi 3:8 and says, bring all the tithes and offerings to the storehouse, and I will pour out a blessing so big from heaven that you won't even be able to, you won't even be able to hold it. So if a minister knows all these things, don't you think they should have already been put through that test? And if they went through the proving grounds of Malachi 3:8, I didn't steal your tithes and offerings, I always bring it to you. They should have so much. They should be such abundant people that they should never have to get any tithes and offerings. But I understand church is a business, but let's just say, per se, a church blow down and Hurricane Beryl, and we're going to get to that because this is dealing with Keion Henderson. If he was really a believer and God has already delivered Malachi 3:8 to this man as your leader and your spiritual advisor and your all these type of things, Malachi 3:8 should already been addressed to him. Everything in his life should be non-lacking. So if my church blow down and I own it, yes, I got a big congregation. He's inflating the numbers, but that's nevertheless. I would put my money, take my money out of my pocket because I have so much. If you're going by Malachi 3:8, the Lord has rained down so much in his storehouse that he should have been able to take the money out of his pocket, fix it, and then say, whoever want to contribute to that, I did that out of my pocket. Show and prove. This is what you're supposed to do. Then the congregants would have been able to match, or they would have probably gave over an abundant when they see it act like that. But when all you do is beg, people sick of that. Let's get into this. I'm talking about Keion Henderson with this Hurricane Beryl thing. Let's look at this. People should be sick of this.
2,100 people to give $2,100.
Now remember, this man said he has a congregation of 20,000 people. Now he's inflating the numbers. This man has never amassed a congregation of 20,000 at his church because he couldn't even fit them, according to his own admission, and said all of these are my congregations. Now what he's doing, anybody who's ever visited him, put in a pamphlet, say I will join one day, whatever, like an honorary member. He's counting his online people that you look at online who sent him gifts over to in different states. He's saying that all of this is his congregation. You see? So he's inflating a number. This man don't have no 20,000 members. But anyway, he asked 2,100 people for $2,100. That would have been $4.4 million. He's acting coy, like he didn't know. Oh, the news put it together and it is 4.4 million. I hadn't did the math. I don't know. This is a slick thief. Well, he's not really slick to me, but he might be to you guys because he pulled the wool over your head, you see, and you don't know no better. You walking in the dark and he's your leader and he don't know a damn thing. Let's continue, African people. You hear me?
And the newspaper did the math and they said Pastor Henderson asked his 20,000 members for $4.4 million. Let me even make sure that that's what it equals because I hadn't even done the math yet. Yeah, it's 4.4. I hadn't done the math. It was what God.
I hadn't done the math. It's what God had given me. So why God didn't give you the money? You don't see when you got God, Malachi 3:8 said it. When you bring everything into the storehouse, as he's been saying, because he's been funneling funds from fools, the 4 F's, and giving this same this pity party for pitiful people for years before his church blew down. He would try to extract and get all the money he can out of his members. You're giving a little bit. I check my numbers and we're only getting 20% people giving. You got to give more. Why isn't Malachi 3:8? Why doesn't this man have so much abundant money that if he was to take it out of his pocket and fix his own damn church, it wouldn't even touch him? This is how you know that the Bible isn't real. None of the stuff that they preach is real. Malachi 3:8 is nothing but some literature written to the believer. If you don't believe it, it's not real. Nothing in the Bible is real unless you believe it. Let's continue, African people.
God had given me. And anybody who had been listening, I want you to go back, and you can find the tape somewhere. I said before the hurricane had come that God was going to give us 2,100 people to give $2,100 in 21 days, and we were going to do it debt free.
He was asking for $4.4 million before the hurricane even blew into town. Why does he have to ask? This is God's steward. This is one of God's leaders, one of his shepherds. You see, let's continue.
This is not new.
It's not new how he begged. Man, people sick of this mess. Standing up here looking like a fake construction worker. This man get his nails and feet done. He's not going to pick up a hammer. Let's continue, African people. This type of man is leading our people today. Look at this man. This man is not going to pick up no hammer. He get his nails and feet done with his wife, Shani. Let's continue.
We were already on this trajectory before the storm had come. What I forgot to do, that I'm going to do right now.
What I forgot to do is what I'm going to do right now is beg for more goddamn money. See, 2,100 people, $2,100 is 4.4 million. But you got to remember, he got 20,000 congregants. This is what he's saying. He got 20,000 initiates. He got 20,000 people. What's left from 2,100 out of 21,000? 17,900. So let's just say 17,900 people give $21. That's another. I did the math right here. I'm going to do the math. Make sure, because the news did it. Man, just be lying. He already did the math. 17,900 people times 21 is another whopping $375,900. You hear me? $375,900. If you asked 17,900 remaining members or congregants, however you want to cut it, for $21 a piece, he's going to extend that out to them now. See, he would already have the 4.4 million if he had it his way. And then if the rest, the remaining 17,900 gives him $21, another 400,000 roughly. Let's continue. These bastards is greedy. Why don't he have the power that the scriptures say? If you try God, just try God. Pay your tithes and offerings. See, don't God rain on you? This man been paying, and he been using your money to pay his, cover his. Why isn't he so abundantly prosperous that he can take it out of his own wallet, write the check, say, man, I'm getting the church fixed. That's my church. If you want to contribute to what I did, you can give now to this. But the church is coming up. This man's still out of a church. It's been a year later. Let's continue, African people.
Is remind myself that everybody doesn't have $2,100. And the Lord convicted me on that. And I went back and I prayed about it. And I want to apologize for not offering an opportunity for people who don't have it like that. Everybody doesn't have $2,100. The Lord said, but somebody has $21.
See, the Lord always give him what you have. The Lord didn't give him what the Lord has for him. The Lord gave him, and his mind said, the Lord gave me that. The Lord gave him how much money that you should give. You hear me? So that lets you know that the Bible is null and void. This God will take care of you. You'll be so prosperous. He'll open the heaven's windows and pour on you so much you won't even be able to hold it. That's a goddamn lie. You hear me? So if you're ready to deal with reality, African people, that's what we do here. Put the Bible down. It's not doing you any good. You don't need that mess in your life. This man's sitting up here lying. He's more of a politician than the pastor. You see, he's trying to politically gain your money without using a dime of his. Now, if he give 10,000, 21,000 towards this whole 4.4 million, that's cool. And I would be blown away by that. But God is the man that speaks for God, African people. Don't you ever forget it. That's my thoughts on all this. If God was such a person that say, hey, try God out, the leaders who's giving you that message should have already been so abundantly prosperous that they should never take collections. They shouldn't have to worry about no building fund. They shouldn't have to worry about raising any money. If they say, hey, we want to give free bowling and backpack, pull it out of your pocket. You work for God, right? The same crap you pulling off to me, talking about if you try God, you'll have this and that. Why don't you have it? See, men that's of world renown, they'll take it out their pocket and do it. If I'm giving a backpack, I'm not going to go get charitable contributions from people. If it's my name, I want to give it. This is how it's always done from the small level. When you get larger and larger, you don't want to give a damn thing. You go get charitable contributions from everybody, and then you just put it in your name. This is what the posers do, the political people, such as Keon Henderson. It's nothing but a poser. If he truly worked for God, he would do everything singularly for God, and God would allow him to do that right before your eyes. Wouldn't be nothing miraculous or suspicious. God would be using this man and showing you, try God, and this is how you'll look. That's my thoughts on all this. It's all little Kenny Russell Kanoum. Kanoum Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna give me. Step in this room. You're now dealing with Kanoum. This is what I do. I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I ask them all to it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and thank you for watching. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. So before you pick up a weapon or silly religion such as this is Christianity. Pick up some knowledge. This man is, he don't work for God. God is the man that speaks for God. The only God he works for is Keon Henderson. If you can understand what I'm saying, you would already know what I'm talking about. Sorry I was long-winded, but I wanted to break this down and deal with this, because if they're saying that God will do so much for you if you try God, didn't they already try him? The leaders. Yeah. If anybody's offended by anything you heard, I mean every word. Yeah. See y'all tomorrow.